Hello, welcome to this presentation. Today we are going to move on with part 3 of water tower structure. Welcome once again to this presentation. If you take a look on our previous model of water tower structure, you'll note that the only thing remaining is to lay down or to create the platform where our water tank will be placed on. Now we'll go right away to start placing our beams on top of this simple structure. I'll snap on that spot and run all the way to this end and place it there. I'll double click on that to change the size of that beam. It will be a bit smaller beam, not such a big one. We'll use 254. By that, we'll apply and accept. Apply and accept. It's such a big one. We'll use 178. By that, apply and accept. Let me apply and accept. But prior to giving it an OK, we have to bring this up on top of the beam. Now we'll shift to front, apply and accept. Now we can close that, run to the other end and check whether the beam is sitting well on top of the other beam. Now to check that, come to view, under view, click rotate with mouse and rotate about that spot. Now we need some extensions here around 1.2 and 1.2, 1.2. We'll use this beam to create those extensions that will be used for walkway in case you wanted to have a bit of a walk on top of a bit of a walk around the water tank on top of the tower structure. I'll double click on this and come to position and adjust that to 1200 and do the same thing here, 1200. I'll go ahead and just click modify, apply and accept. This beam will adjust itself both ways. Now next thing we are going to do is quite simple. I'll close that. I'll click that, right click and come to special copy and pick linear. We want to populate these in both directions, this side and this side. And to do that, you have to check your axis accurately. Now we want to do that along the x-axis. We'll use 800, 800. We need 4 of them. Then go ahead and click copy and change this to negative and click copy. Accept that. Rotate this around. Perfect. Now next move is to create another beam cutting across. Now I'll come here, I'll come to beam, I'll snap right on top there, run all the way to this end and snap right there. I'll double click on this to change the positioning of the beam. I'll come to position and give it behind there, apply and accept that. But it is extending beyond what we require. I'll double click on that and come to positions and do away with this, change all this to 0. Change all this to 0 and modify that. Perfect. We've done that accurately. We'll come here and turn this like this. I want to copy this one here to this end by a certain dimension. Now I'll just approximate the dimension, but prior to doing that, I want to move this closer to the edge of this beam. That's perfect. Now I'll click that, I'll click copy from this spot to that spot. I need just 2.5 meters. It has gone exactly to the location I really preferred. Perfect. Now from here, I'll do away with this part. I'll come to edit. I'll come edit by polygon. I'll click on that and click somewhere there. Snap on this spot and snap on that spot. Run all the way to this end and snap there. Snap there and run to your initial spot and snap there. It's not accurate. Just zoom closer and if you do that, snap on that spot. Just zoom out and snap on that spot. Run all the way to the other end and snap there. Snap here, then go back and snap here. Perfect. We've trimmed off that. Right click and redraw. Come to view, turn this round. Perfect. Perfect. We'll copy this. Just pick this, right click and click copy. Pick it from that spot and bring it here. Bring it there. Right click and redraw that. Do the same thing. Right click, pick it from that spot, and take it the other end. Take it somewhere here. Perfect. Right click and redraw. Now we want to change the size of this beam. We want to make it slightly bigger. Double click on it and come to the beam properties or material properties. Then pick a member of your choice. I'll come to universal beams. I'll pick slightly bigger size. I'll pick this. By that, I'll apply and accept. Come to navigate and check how it is positioning itself against this. Now we want to place this right in the middle. Come here and stick to the middle there. It's not positioning itself properly. Now having done that, we'll just come back here, turn this round, and we'll locate a midpoint of this beam and locate midpoint of this beam and join two midpoints. Then we'll come to edit to do exactly that. We'll come to online. I'll snap here and come down here. Perfect. I'll close that. I'll come back to points. I'll snap there and come right away down here and interrupt, press OK. Then go back to the bigger beam and right click and click move. Right there and snap right there. Perfect. Having done that, we need now just to extend this bit. Just double click on this and come to positions and press negative 100 and click OK, apply and accept. Now from here, I'll just highlight that, right click and pick copy special and come to linear. Then I'll go for midpoint between this end and that end and pick a midpoint. I'll turn this round like this. I'll come to navigate, turn this round and pick a midpoint anywhere. Special copy, linear. Not special copy, we need a mirror command. I'll snap here as take this as a mirror line right there and run all the way down here and give it a 90 degrees mirror, expand. That's gone the wrong way. And do that. Pick it again, right click and click special copy and mirror. Just zoom like that and come and click on that spot and click copy. Okay, it has copied on the other side. Navigate, rotate with mouse and turn this like that. Perfect. We will change this one also. We'll change this one also. We'll double click on that and change these to this size. We'll come to 203, that size, apply and accept. Apply and accept that. Right click, come to move, snap there and snap there. Move it up, right there. It's not accurately placed. But that one will just weld it. Now turn this round and check whether what you've done is right. I'll come to weld. I'll just come here and type weld, then pick stanchion weld. I want to weld this to this. I welded that to that. or it can go the other way. Can weld this to this. So it's not coming up accurately. I'll cancel that. Come to navigate and turn this round. I'll try to trim this off. Come to position and try to trim this off by 100. Negative 100. Get it back 0. Apply and accept. Pick this, right click and click move. Move from that spot to that spot. Come and check whether that has been done properly. Now you can go back to weld and do exactly the same thing. Weld that and weld this, and this should change. This should change to this size. Now what we are going to do, just to click on that, just to undo everything here, just click on that, close this down, come to navigate and turn this round and get an accurate mirror line point. Right click and come to special copy mirror, snap right there and run all the way to this bottom end and click there and click copy. It has gone the wrong way. Click OK. Delete that. Peg it once again and go to special copy mirror. Snap there and come here and snap down here. Change this to 90. 90 and click OK. Perfect. Now we'll delete the initial beam, then come to navigate and turn this round. Turn this round. Turn this round like this. Now this part of this beam will be trimmed off, and to do that is quite simple. You come to edit, we'll go to points, we'll pick that spot and run all the way to this spot, then come to edit and go to polygon cut and press select the member you want to trim off and start right away. Snap right there and snap right here, then go all the way back to where you started all that and snap right there. You'd have trimmed off the unwanted part of the beam. Right click and redraw, navigate and turn this round. Perfect. This is exactly what we wanted to do with this. Again, we'll come here and trim off this part. We'll come to edit. We'll come to edit and pick a spot here, here and here. Press Ctrl and pick these to a section here, or just snap at a point here and give an offset, maybe 300, and press OK. Press that, right click and click copy. $400 or $450 and press OK. We can snap it there. Then we'll come to edit by polygon, right there, here and here, and go back to our initial spot. Right click and redraw. Perfect. And as simple as that. You can come to view to turn this round to see what you've been doing. Right there we are. Now we'll come to applications and component, and here we just type end plate, and we'll pick that 1 or 10, and we want to join this and that. And turn this round. Double click on this and come straight to bolts and change the sizes to your own standard, to a standard of your preference. I'll shift this to middle point and just go ahead and click OK. Apply and accept. The moment you see this green cone means the joint or the connection is perfectly right. The moment you see the yellow one means it is correct, but it's not up to standard. Now I'll turn this like that and proceed with the rest of the joints. I'll come here and pick that and do the same thing here, that and that. You see what I told you? It is correct, but not standard. Reason being, this end plate, all the other bolts are flying out. Now, and to rectify that, we'll just do this. We'll select this beam and give it an offset, or give it a move command to this direction. I will give it 40. Then the cone would have changed to green. Perfect. Now we'll come here and do the same thing, but this side will just weld, because these beam sizes are the same, so this type of connection will not be applicable on this end. Now I'll just come here and come to weld, just type weld. I'll type weld there and pick that. I want to weld and redraw this. Perfect. And do the same thing here. This one, right click and click move. Move from this spot to that spot by 180. 180. 180. You can check that, turn that round like that, sitting well at the right spot. We'll delete that joint, click on that, come here and turn this round. We'll come to steel beam and place a member here all the way to that end, and do that. Come to steel beam, snap right at the middle here, right at the middle there, then run all the way to this end and place it there. Double click on this and change all this to 0. Change all this to 0 and click modify. You can drag that to that direction. I can drag this to this direction manually. After doing that, double click on this and come to position and give it behind. Perfect. Apply and accept. Now we will delete the initial connection. We'll come to view, navigate and turn this round like that. We want to delete the initial spot. That one we'll delete. Now if you come to navigate, turn this round and come to end plate. Just type end plate, and pick that, and that. Come to this, turn this round. And we'll come here again to steel and pick it from this spot. Note that we'll come to points and locate a point here, a midpoint here, midpoint right there, and we'll close that. We'll come to steel beam, just snap right here and run all the way to the other end. Then what we're going to do, we'll type weld. We'll pick that. We want to weld this to that. Right click and redraw. Try delete that and see if that member is still remaining. It's perfectly right. Now turn this like that. It's perfectly done and well positioned. Now we want to get rid of this extension here. We'll come to these points, any position, that and that. We'll pick that, press Ctrl and give it a move command from that spot to this spot by 250. Enter that. That's big. Pick that and that. Right click and click move from that spot to that spot by 100. We'll come to edit by polygon, click that, run all the way to that spot, all this spot, and you'd have trimmed that point. Now if you go back to view and come to navigate, rotate with mouse and snap at a point where you intend to rotate the model about, you'll turn this like this. Perfect and right on the positions we intended to see this in. Now we want to create an end plate here. We'll come to end plate by just typing end plate, or if you can master the numbers of all the joints, well and good, you can just type the number. Pick that. Want to join that and that. Join this and that. and do. Drag that all the way to that end. Right click and redraw. Drag that to that end. Right click and redraw. Remember to save your work. Now come to end plate, that and that. Rotate about that spot. The joint has been placed perfectly well. We can weld this to that. Come to weld. Weld. We want to weld this to this. Redraw that. Now we will embark on weld plate joints because you have several parts to be joined, this and that, that and that, that and that. Just move all the way to all this. Let's move all the way to all those, that and that. This has been welded. We want to join that and that, that and that, this and that, this and that, this and this. Let's continue like that with all your joints, that and that. We'll come back to that and join that. It has been welded. There's no need of placing an end plate there. You can place an end plate here, then switch to navigate and turn this round. Close this. It has no help for us now. Turn this like this. Right click and redraw. Now the next thing we want to do is to place the gratings on top of this platform, and the gratings will be guided along the edges, along these edges. Perfect. Now I'll come to steel beam and snap right here, right there, and run all the way to this corner. I'll double click on that and come to position and give it a left shift it to left position, then bring it to front. Then I'll switch to attributes to change the member size. I'll minimize that and I'll come to plate profiles, which is somewhere here, and pick aluminum gratings. I'll apply and accept. Apply and accept. I'll change this to 60, 60, and change this to 20. Use OK. Apply and accept. Perfect. Now we need this to extend to this end. Just double click on this and we'll come to extension. We'll come to position and extend this maybe to 1200 and click modify. It has gone the opposite direction. Click that and do the same thing here. Change this to 100. change this to 1050 to 1 meter. Perfect. Apply and accept. Double click on this. We'll come to position and do the same thing here. 1 meter. This will reduce to 900. 900 or 850. 850 there, and click modify. Apply and accept. But now we'll use a different color for grating. We'll click on it and try to change the color. Click on that and come to either that class or this. Now I'll come to view, navigate, rotate with mouse and turn this round like this. Perfect. Now we want to populate this. Click on that, right click and click special copy, linear. Then we want to populate this along the y-axis. We'll do away with this and come here and type 70. We need 50 of this, or 100 of this, or 150 of that. 100 will be okay. Then we just go ahead. 7 meters will be high. We need 50 of that, and click OK. Apply and accept. Come here, navigate, turn this round. And I've created this grating, but still not complete. Still not complete. We'll click on that, right click and click, come to special copy, linear. We need 20 of this or 10 of this. Just click OK. Okay. Come here and do the same thing. Special copy, linear. We need 10. Let's click copy, apply and accept. Now if you come here, we don't want these bars to interfere with the location of our ladder. Now we will use this to modify. We'll modify this. We'll click on that, or turn it in a position that we can manipulate it properly. Come to edit, come to any points, come to any position, and we'll snap on that spot and go the other end. We'll come to view, turn this, turn that. Pick these two positions and give them a copy command or a move command. Place somewhere there and type 50. Perfect. Now we'll come to navigate, turn this round like this. Then come to edit, polygon, pick on this, snap right there, and run all the way to this end, and snap right there, and come back here. Come back there. Is not in the right positions. They're not in the right positions. I'll come back to edit. We'll do away with this spot in that point. I'll come back to points, any position. I'll snap right there and come back and snap right there. Then I'll start off by trimming off that spot and that spot. Come here and do the same thing right there and right here, and come back and do the same thing here. It's not accurate, but we'll do it perfectly. Come back to points, any position, pick on that position, and come back and pick on this position, and come here and pick on this position, and pick on that position. Then come to polygon, pick on that position here, run down there, which is not accurate. What we'll do, we just undo and do this the right way. Just undo, undo. Check what happened here and do this perfectly. Now we'll come back to polygon and select on this and pick that one right there and snap right here. Then go to the other ends and do exactly the same thing right there and right here. Perfect. Now I'll turn this round like that, and we'll do this to work perfectly. We'll come back to edit by polygon, pick that, snap right here, and snap right down the end here, and run all the way to this end. We want to remove this part. Zoom up and down, and snap right there. Come and finish it here. We have removed everything. Right click and redraw. Come to view, navigate, and turn this round. Now we want to populate this. Pick that, right click, and come to special copy, linear. We want 50. 20 of these will be okay. Click copy. Okay. Pick on this, right click and click special copy, linear, and click that, apply and accept. Now we don't need this, delete. We don't need that, delete that. We don't need that, we delete that. We'll right click and redraw. We'll navigate that and turn this round like that. This is our grating, but it's not yet finished. It's not yet finished. We'll remove this, because here we'll place our handrail. We'll pick that, right click and click special copy, linear and give it a negative, and we just need one of it, and click copy, apply and accept. Remember to save your work all the time. Turn this like that. Now from here we want to create another member here. We'll come to steel beam, snap right there and run all the way to this end. We'll come to view, turn this round like that. We'll snap right here, double click on that and come to positions and do away with all this, apply and accept. Now we'll double click on that, come to attributes and select profile. We'll go down here to folded plates or to variable plates, variable profiles, and pick helix. We'll apply and accept, apply and accept, and prior to accepting that we have to change the size of this member to 20 or to 20 or to 30 is okay. Then position it behind, we take it left, take it right, mid. Okay, we can just click on it again and shift this position to this position. Right click, shift this position to this position, exactly that. Now we want to populate this along. Right click and click special copy and pick linear. We'll change this to 70, but now we will not work with the y-axis, we'll work with x-axis. Now we'll copy this on top here, paste it there. Now we need several of these, we need close to 60 of that, or 30 of that. Then click OK. We have to change the color to look more uniform. We'll click on this, right click, we'll click on that, then come to this class. Pick on this, right click, and come to linear. So okay, we'll change this to 60. We'll give it, we need 100 of them. Go ahead and click copy. Perfect. Then the rest will just delete. Press Ctrl, delete all this, delete all this, right click and delete. Then if you come to navigate, rotate the mouse and turn this round, you'll see our gratings are perfectly placed. Then we'll do the same thing here. We'll come to steel beam, and snap right there and right here. We'll undo that because we want to default on the other side, on the same size. Now we'll double click on it, click modify and apply. So when we go back to steel beam, we'll just get a default of the previous size. We'll not bother with resetting everything. Let's snap on the other end. Let's snap here. Perfect. Then if you come to view, navigate and rotate this, select that, right click and click move from that position to this position. Right click and come to special copy, linear. Then we want this to be close to 95 or 90. Just go ahead and click copy, click OK. We don't need the extras. Don't need that. Delete the unwanted. Press Ctrl and select. Press Ctrl and select all these and delete. There we are. We have our grating perfectly done. This is our grating. Remember to save your work. Turn this round and like that. Now we'll come here and place our handrails, but prior to placing our handrails, we have to locate the points. We'll come to point here, any position, snap right there and get a point there. We'll get a point here and here. We want to get a point here, there and here. Those are the midpoints we intend to use. Come to view, turn this round like that. Perfect. Just come here and type handrail. The rest will rectify on the next presentation. Handrail. Pick that. Pick on this. Right there. Pick on this. Right there. Pick on this right there. Pick on this right there. Pick on this. Make sure you're accurate right there. And pick on this right here. Now on this, we'll reduce that. We'll come here and change that to 2 meters. Apply and accept that. Still we can adjust that to 2500. $500. Or 400. $800 could work. Meter. Okay, 1500 is okay. Apply and accept, then come to navigate and turn this round. Perfect. Right click and redraw. Now we'll just double click on that. The rest we'll do in the next presentation. We want to change that to 800. Number of posts. Double click on that. Delete that. Double click on that and change that to 800. 800. Apply and accept. Double click on that. Come there and change that to 800. Apply and accept. Do the same thing here and change that to 800. Modify, apply and accept. Do the same thing here and change all those things. Apply and accept. Now, setting up our handrails will be done on the next presentation. Today, due to time has run out, we'll end up here. And thanks for watching this channel and this video. Keep watching this channel for more tutorials about TEKLA structures. Perfect. And I'm your presenter, Maurice Dimba, and bye bye.